Hi everyone, I'm Jo Allebone from the YWCA of Canberra in Australia.
And I'm Jenna Foster with the YWCA of Central Virginia in the USA.
And we're here as short-term interns with the World YWCA at the 23rd session of the Human Rights Council here in Geneva. What we'd like to do is read a statement to you that focuses on the issue of child early and forced marriages. What we'd like to be able to do is this afternoon at the session on the annual day of discussions on women's human rights is to be able to read this statement out to the assembled group. And the reason that this is important for the World YWCA and the entire movement is because we know that member associations from around the world have been doing fantastic work with their governments at a national level to really work on this issue and eliminate child early and forced marriage as a practice. Over to you, Jenna.
Well, I'm going to read this statement that was prepared by the World YWCA, and it's for, again, like Joe said, the annual day of discussion for women's human rights. As one of the world's largest women's rights movements, reaching 25 million women and girls in 120 countries, the World YWCA has a long history of working to end violence against women in local communities. I myself work in one of the YWCA's support services in the USA for survivors of violence, which provides legal and counseling services and emergency accommodation. Only last week, a 29-year-old young woman was murdered at the hands of her abusive partner. The World YWCA takes this opportunity to commend the Council on lifting the issue of rape and sexual violence, which affect women's lives in both private and public spaces. With between 11 and 45% of adolescent girls worldwide reporting that their first sexual experience is forced, this must be a critical priority for member states in protecting the human rights of women and girls. From our community experience, nowhere is sexual violence more profound than in the practice of early and forced marriage, whereby adolescent girls are forced physically and or emotionally into early marriage and sexual relations, often with men who are much older. This robs them of their right to choose whom and when they marry, and their lack of negotiating power with older men makes them more vulnerable to intimate partner violence, including rape, sexual violence, and HIV infection. Child brides are often stripped of their right to education, pulled out of school to engage in domestic chores and early pregnancy, which puts them at a higher risk of maternal mortality and health complications. However, the YWCA believes that early and forced marriage can be eradicated in the single generation with sufficient political will, resources, and action. We call upon member states to scale up legislative, administrative, and financial efforts for impactful community interventions to prepare early and forced marriage, protect girls at risk, and support adolescents in marriage. End impunitive acts of sexual violence inside and outside marriage by prosecuting and punishing perpetrators. Invest in education and economic empowerment of girls and young women as critical measures for preventing forced marriage and sexual violence. And finally, commit to the eradication of early and forced marriage as a key indicator for eliminating violence against women in the post-2015 development agenda.
Well, thanks a lot for listening, and we'll report back to you and let you know how we go this afternoon. Thank you.